Lynn, start the meeting and then I'll give you the floor.
Officially,
thank you.
officially, Gale, we only do a couple of things that are traditional, if you will. One of them is to ring the bell to call the meeting to order. And at the end of the meeting, we do something in reverse called the four-way test. So at this point, let me officially ring the bell to call the meeting to order.
There we go.
Okay, Phil.
All right. And this morning we have Gale Wilcox from MIWORK. Is it MIWORK Matters? Is that the whole title, Gale?
My Work Matters, MIWORK, My Work Matters.
I keep adding an S to it. Alrighty, then we'll give you the floor. I'd love to hear this.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for the invitation to speak today. As Phil said, my name is Gale Wilcox, and I'm a very proud board member of My Work Matters. I'm here today to tell you about my passion and devotion to people with developmental disabilities. I don't know, do you have a family member or a loved one or a friend that has a developmental disability? Do you know what developmental disabilities are? The legal umbrella term that refers to disabilities present before an individual reaches age 22. Congenital developmental disabilities exist at birth, but developmental disabilities can also be acquired post-birth. Examples are cerebral palsy, epilepsy, autism, hearing loss, Down syndrome, mental retardation, spinal injury, and brain injury.
My.
Not all of these disabilities necessarily result in decreased intellectual functioning. My great niece, Anastasia, and this is Anastasia,
Hey.
is a beautiful, bright, funny young lady with Down syndrome. When she was born, I wondered, how will she take care of herself as an adult? So I decided to give it my all to make sure she would have every opportunity to work, to be employed at something that she likes, to be employed and earn a fair wage, to be employed at a job in the community, to be employed and have a career that uses her capacities as well as her capabilities to the fullest. So in 2018, with my niece, friends, caregivers, and advocates, My Work Matters was born. We are on a mission to create, sustain, and advocate for meaningful opportunities for people with developmental disabilities. My Work Matters is a 501c3 nonprofit that is funded through grants and private donations only, and we are not affiliated with any state or federal entities. Michigan's unemployment rate is really off the charts high, as we all know. But do you know that the unemployment rate for persons with disabilities is staggering 81%?
Well,
My Work Matters current employment programs are changing the unemployment rate one program at a time. Some of our current programs are Anastasia and Katie's Coffee Shop and Cafe, which opened in 2019, our Employment Ambassador Program, as well as our Box Lunch Program. Each of these programs are remarkably successful, especially pre-pandemic. The coffee shop is still open, and one of the employment ambassadors will be starting her new position in June as an office administrative assistant. Anastasia and Katie's Coffee Shop and Cafe invites customers to join them in a giving back to the local community through its boxed lunch giving program. Individual customers or organizations can sponsor meals to people in need or to recognize deserving members of the community. The Box Lunch Giving Program is a way for individuals and organizations to pay it forward. Interested sponsors can nominate a local organization or group to donate the meals to, or they can choose from an established list of nominees. But this is only the beginning. Our programs for 2021-2022 include the following: Employment Partner Program. The goal is to partner with a local business and place one or more employees in a paid work setting. A formalized job training at the coffee shop. The goal of this program is to enhance and formalize the current training process for employees of the coffee shop, develop progress evaluation processes, formalize job coaching strategies.
That's okay. Just another one joining.
Yeah, I see it. Let's see where I was. Formalize job coaching strategies, visualize support systems, and other means of helping adults with developmental disabilities thrive in a competitive employment opportunity. Our next one is our Employment Ambassador Program. We've had this before. It was extremely successful. Our goal is to continue the successful program as soon as it is safe to resume in-person presentations. Funding is used to pay for the 4 ambassadors for 5 presentations, pay a trainer, and purchase shirts for the ambassadors. And through this program is how we recently, in fact, tomorrow, she will start over at the Learning Care LCL headquarters in Novi.
Oh, great.
And they are the headquarters for tutor time, Montessori schools. They have 1,900 employees across the country. So we are absolutely ecstatic that she is employed there at their headquarters. So
Fabulous.
And I'm sorry.
No problem. Just said fabulous.
It is fabulous. One more employment program we have is a vocational skill building camp style program for 2022. This program is for people interested in acquiring the skills needed to work in a coffee shop setting. The program will use the coffee shop space in the off hours and will consist of a 12-week session with 2 types available. We have the Barista Boot Camp, gives skill training for a coffee shop, learn all the skills and job duties required to work at a coffee shop. Focus for job seekers, open and run the coffee shop for the final week of the session. The second one is a recreational camp style. Learn to create, market, and package healthy drinks, snacks, and products to sell at the coffee shop in a fun and relaxed atmosphere. Some examples are green smoothies, protein bars, etc. So as you can see, My Work Matters is making a difference. However, to continue to make progress, funding support for each of these programs is needed. The funds will be used to hire trainers and staff, as well as purchase inventory. With your generosity and help, we will be able to assist persons with disabilities make their employment dreams a reality. Once you want to be a part of it, I want to thank you again for your time today. Do you have any questions that I might be able to answer?
Gale, how many years ago was it that you started the organization?
2018 is when it was started in the fall, and we opened the coffee shop in 2019.
And the coffee shop is located where?
It's in Livonia on Merriman and 7 Mile, next to Angel Saints and stuff.
Okay.
So is it purely a coffee shop enterprise, or is this to plan other types of activities more suitable?
It's both. The coffee shop is our first work program, and
Okay.
it has turned out to be successful. But we don't want to just limit it to that. We want to offer opportunities in the community between the employer and the employees. So that's one of the programs for the fall and 2022. We are going to seek out employers that are willing to work with us to hire persons with disabilities, such
Okay,
as
yeah,
Sydney Jones over at, yeah.
that's
So-
really good.
So in that marketing process, Gale, are you putting together, let's call it a dossier on young people that you're interested in placing, so that an employer who wants to have someone who can handle light clerical work is matched with the right person?
Yes.
How does your inventory of potential employees work?
Well, right now, it's kind of, because of the pandemic, we're kind of on the low end of it. But
Understand.
what we have done is actually what we've done is we've gone to different places and had applicants apply. Just apply with, do they want to work? What are their skills, et cetera. And then we take all those applicants and we work with employers around the community that are interested. And we had pre-pandemic, we had just started to work with Comcast. They were very interested in assisting an individual, but since the pandemic, that's been put on hold.
Sure.
So how do you as an organization measure the capabilities of the various, let's call them candidates that you're working with? Do they come to you first, or do you know families that need the assistance and market to them, or how do you go about that?
We put out almost like a help wanted. When we first started, that's exactly what we did. We put out, if you want to work, MIWORK Matters has programs that we want to put you in. And so people reached out to us. As far as their spectrum of skills, it is our goal that no skill spectrum would ever be turned away. We'd do everything in our power to help that person find a meaningful job in the world. Some folks need job coaches at their positions. We have one young lady that does not need a job coach when she comes into the coffee shop. So it's kind of very broad all over the place. And as we get to know the family, they are the ones that actually know other people that have persons with disabilities in other families. So it's kind of inclusive in that manner, that we find each other that way. Because we're
Excellent.
not associated with any state or federal entity. So it's
Right.
really is kind of a community word of mouth.
Excellent. So what's your next move this year? How are you advertising both ends of the spectrum? One, you're looking for potential work candidates, but obviously at the same time, you're also looking for opportunities for them to be placed. How do you go about getting the word out for that? For both?
What I'm doing right now is one of the ways. Our social media, we have a lot of followers on Facebook, and we're coming out of the pandemic. So we are ramping up with trying to reach out to employers. And the president of MIWORK Matters, Kelly Rockwell, that is her side of it. She's working again with Comcast and some other local businesses.
If I could make a suggestion, because you obviously need employers, one group that you should focus on getting your information to is the Greater Farmington Area Chamber of Commerce. If you're not already very involved with them in their marketing campaigns, you should have marketing pieces that you can put in their distribution, which I think, Phil, if I'm not mistaken, is monthly.
Yes, it is.
That they put it out to all the employers that are members of the group. And I'm not saying that all those employers have spots for people.
No, they don't.
That you might be representing, but certainly they would be a resource, because some of their employees may know needs of people and so on and so forth. So that would just be a recommendation that I would make. Check them out early and often.
Well, we are members of the Livonia Chamber of Commerce, but I took a really good note on that. I'm going to send it back to Kelly, and her and I will sit and brainstorm about our next move. But right now we are in need of funds, and I know that you probably hear this a lot. Because we are a very young organization, we're trying to build up our coffers so that we can springboard some of these programs.
Yep. And up here in Farmington Hills, Farmington, their Chamber of Commerce has a not-for-profit group meeting. I think it's the second Tuesday of every month. I just missed a couple recently. So if I look it up, I'll send it on to you, Gale. They, as I say, they meet, and you could join the Zoom meeting to maybe put this, and I'll call it a pitch. You can put this pitch forward to them, or at least let them know that you exist and there's work going forward. That'd be a good group to join in, I think.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
No problem. Well, good morning, Penny.
Good morning. Sorry I was late.
No problem.
I wanted to ask the lady,
This is Gale.
Gale, is there any grant money or funding money from the state that could be utilized by your organization?
We do apply for grants, and we have received very few. And we have one person. I want to explain. We are a working board. I am one of two board members that are not working. I'm retired, as is Randy. The rest of them have full-time jobs. So our grant person puts forward as much effort and time as she can to get grants, and we have received some. So the answer, Penny, is yes, there probably are grants, and we are actively seeking board members that can help us write grants more. We're a young organization. We fell into the coffee shop opportunity, and we took advantage of it, and we have another opportunity that's coming forward. So we are in need of funds and board members to help fill some of our gaps.
Well, with the reopening of Michigan, with hopefully with COVID receding into a distant memory, hopefully really soon, this would be a good time to be a young organization like yourself to start getting the word out as that you exist, and
Yes.
and it's a big opportunity for the companies and the young folk or the candidates within Michigan to get involved.
Yes, I agree. And it's just, I'm trying to hold down my excitement. I am just over the top excited about this. I mean, it's been my dream to have persons with disabilities find a career, not just a job, but find a career. And our one young ambassador, Sydney, has fulfilled my dream. She now has a career at a large company, and I went with her on a tour with her grandmother, and they have labeled her not the good one, she is the ambassador of happiness, because one of her duties is to make sure that they do not run out of coffee in the supply area. And she was thrilled given that title.
That is a good title.
Gale,
Yeah.
there's another individual by position, but also the idea of contact that I will provide email and introductory contact for you. But Diane Bauman, is she aware of your program? She is a community information representative of the Farmington School District. And Livonia, Novi, and all the surrounding areas have someone in a similar capacity, but I will share Diane's email with you, and you can contact her directly. But from the idea that all of the schools today are involved with special needs people. Most of those special needs people are integrated into the school system somehow. And I'm not saying anything as to degree of need or problems, but they would be, a person like Diane would be the one contact that might be able to put you in touch with anyone within the system that might have someone in need of your services. So I will do that
Okay.
for you. And I'll also send you Connor's address from the Greater Farmington Chamber of Commerce.
Great. That'd be great. Thank you so much. We're all in this together.
Yep.
Can I-
Right.
can I-
Sure, Penny.
Is it, do you work with or do you have a connection with men and women who have PSTD coming out of the armed forces that are maybe at loose ends to find a skill set to continue with their life as well as being not medicated, but helped with their PSTD? I don't know where
That's,
that line is of special needs in PSTD and like, do you understand what I'm saying, trying to say? Nicole?
Yes. I don't know, Penny. That's a good question. I just wrote that down. To my knowledge right now, no, we don't reach out to any organization with persons with PSTD at all. So, but it is something that we can think about. That's another
Yeah.
avenue. I don't know if it's, what level of disability it is, but our goal is that, we had as an organization, we had to make up our mind about who we want to work with and stuff.
Sure.
And we admitted that we don't want to set such a small area of spectrum that we are excluding others. So,
Right.
so I will look into it. The answer right now is no, Penny. I don't do that.
Good question, Penny.
Well,
Yeah.
I spent some time yesterday with a friend of mine from high school, Farmington High School, and her son has had a couple of tours in Afghanistan, and he suffers from PSTD. This is why I brought it up.
Yeah.
And it was
Mhm.
difficult for him to be able to cope with the job because he was overwhelmed with whatever he was overwhelmed with. And that's what made me think of it, because being an adult and knowing that you can do a good job, but still have a situation where you're not functioning normally. So that's what made me think of that.
I'll check into it. Thank you so much, Penny.
Okay, well, any other questions, Lynn?
No, I'm just thinking.
I can see your brow furrowed.
Look out, everybody. I'm thinking.
I see the smoke.
I can see it too.
But if you do have any other questions, anything following up, just reach out, send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to respond. Okay.
Yeah, when we.
And if I don't know the answer, I'll figure it out. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I do
go-
have one more question.
Go on.
Gale, have you had any contact or do you know of an individual by the name of Kitty Ostash? She works for the city of Farmington Hills in the after-school youth program. And she's another one who may have in a network contact with young people that might be most subject to your assistance from your organization. So I'll add her to the list of addresses that I send for you, and you may feel free to, follow up with her.
Okay.
She's a past president of our club from a few years ago, so she's also got a little bit of Rotary history behind her.
And
That's
some
good.
personal history.
And some personal history, yes.
Yeah. She's in a similar situation with her son. All right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then I'll pass it over to you, Lynn, to close out the meeting.
All right, let me make one minor change here so that Gale can see the thing that I'm talking about, and change my virtual background so that,
You can duck out the way.
yeah. At the end of our meetings, we review in our mind or in our words and our thoughts the Rotary four-way test. And because you haven't seen it before, I will get out of the way enough that you can pretty much see what the whole thing is. But the four-way test of the things we think say or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build
goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial
Beneficial to all concerned.
And with that,
done.
meeting adjourned.
Okay. Well, I'll let you all know that the recording of this meeting will be processed. It takes about an hour. And so sometime today, probably not be about lunchtime. This will be on our library of meetings recordings. I'll send you a link, Gale, so you can see it. And feel free to point people to that link so they can watch this whole presentation. We'll cull it down a little, cut off some of the front, maybe trail this little bit at the end, but you'll be able to point people to that so they could see your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. With that, I'll close the meeting. You can get back to having your morning coffee or your work effort. And we'll see you again soon.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, folk.
Bye.